As a realtor, every day is different. And this speaks volume to every realtor out there. How many of you plans out your day and then by the morning when you're starting up, your to-do list changes? That's the nature of real estate business. Now, I am about to leave my office to check out a new listing in Lavington. And one of the things that I'm reminded every time I'm going out, I know I am not just going to show or maybe to view a property. I am going to look at the business beyond the property. I want you to come with me. Let's see what business is beyond this amazing sanctuary I'm about to list in the market. It's a 5-bedroom house in Lavington. I would love to hear your comments and see if we share the same sentiments with what you're going to see. My good name is Lucy Thuo. I am the host of Property Chat with Lucy. Stay tuned as I take you through this journey with me. Let's talk about Lavington as a neighborhood, because I've had clients reach out. They give me their price points of price points of how much they want to buy properties in Lavington. So let me loop you in the market data on Lavington and what you can get yourself. I look at Lavington from different spheres. There is a Lavington that allows apartments. There is a Lavington area that is very strict with development controls. And ideally, there's also the Lavington where we have a lot of commercial, like a commercial corridor like James Gishuru. So for those guys who might not know the area that we demarcate as Lavington, when we are talking about real estate, we have the areas between James Gishuru, Kingara Road, James Gishuru, all the way to, I'll talk about Convent, James Gishuru on this side, where we have Convent Drive, we have Isaac Gadanju, and then Majimazuri as well. Then also down on this other side where we have Strathmore School, cutting all the way, because on that side, Lavington demarcates Riverside, and then on this other side it also demarcates, or rather it borders Riverside on the side of where we have Strathmore School. Then we also have this other side where it's bordering Kileleshwa area, and then now we have Kilimani, Riara Road. One side of Riara is Kilimani, the other side, Mbazi, that's Lavington. Okay? Now, those different areas I've just stated, houses will price differently, but also the quality of house would differ in the different segments. Let's look at Mbazi Avenue. How much can you get a property on Mbazi Avenue? I know there are a bit of apartments that have come up, and talk of Astoria on Mbazi, right opposite Astoria, there's another development coming up around there. But then also I'm looking at the houses that you're buying there. Now, here's the thing. I'm just like very open when it comes to when I'm selling a property. I don't just sell you a property. We're looking at the value appreciation. You could ask yourself, why are a lot of people selling properties on Mbazi Avenue? It's because a lot of developers now are putting up apartments, and these apartments are overshadowing the townhouses around that area. Which takes me to, how does that impact the value? I'm not saying if you don't get a good buying price, you can't sell at a profit. You need a professional to understand the price at which these houses are selling. I know I've clients who have listed their properties at in the range of 35 million to 45 million around Mbazi Avenue. And you could ask yourself why down the road on Othaya Road, Kapute, properties are being listed at 65 million. That's a whole difference of 15 million. All right. Now, when you go to Kapute, you realize it's controlled development. You can't just put anything in Kapute, the exclusive Kapute area, which is a blue zone. And I want to highlight, in my own opinion, the areas, if you're looking for exclusivity, you're looking for serenity, you're looking for good quality of life in Lavington, Kapute should be in your number one list of the areas in Lavington where you can invest. Okay. And the upper side of also James Gishuru, where we're talking about Majimazuri, we're talking about Convent, we're talking about, those are good areas to buy, okay? Why? Because you're not having apartments hovering around, which might hinder your privacy and all that. Now, there's another very pricey area in Lavington, and this is around the area bordering Riverside. That stretch, you will get really good houses. Also, the development controls are very strict. In 1 acre, you can do a maximum of 4 houses, which is unlike the other areas where in 1 acre you can put 8, which explains why the appreciation factor, and you're looking for serenity, that's where a lot of these guys who are looking for that kind of vibe, they will get themselves to. Okay, so we have given you a range of the pricing depending on the area that you look out for. Lavington upper area Mbaazi, with a minimum of 35 you can get a house. Kapute you can get from 55 to 70. Maji Mazuri, you can actually buy a house up to 120 million, right? Now, the other side of Strathmore Road or Strathmore School, that area, you could actually get a house for 150 million. So you could ask yourself why. And that's why when you're buying a property, honestly, you need a professional to guide you through buying smart, because you make money at the point of buying. You don't make money at the point of selling. So if you buy wrong, and here's the thing, a lot of people buy at the wrong price. So when at the point when they want to exit the property, they can't get more than what they bought for. Why? Because they didn't go out to get a professional opinion on the price at which they're buying. Let's talk about what's unique about Lavington. That's an area that I'm very conversant with. I love the centrality of Lavington location. There are very good schools around. You can, dissect around Nairobi through Lavington, because it's very close to, if you're working in Westlands, you're working in the CBD, you're working in Kilimani, it's very central. But there are other key factors that you might be more keen on other than just your work of place. The quality of life, social amenities in terms of schools, in terms of hospitals, in terms of even the quality of people around there. It's a good area. So if you're out there, you're looking around buying in this area, let's see. I haven't actually talked about intentionally the area that I'm going, because this is something we're going to dive into quite a lot when we get there. But the exclusive gated communities around Lavington are becoming more strict in terms of their provisions, in terms of the quality of offerings they're giving to the market. So let's see what Jacaranda Lane has in store for you in Lavington. This is something I want us to explore together. Then I can showcase to you, especially for developers who are looking for land to develop, and also for people who are looking for houses to buy. This could be it for you. Here are my top selling tips for sellers. I would say number one, when it gets to that exit moment, you want to exit out of your investments, get a professional to advise you on the right price, or rather reasonable price to go to the market with. Then also get a professional that can market and package your property in a way that it can attract the right clientele for your property. And then number three, I would say, put your emotions aside. I presume anyone who is thinking of selling, they have mentally reconciled with the emotional attachment of them being part of that property. So attach yourself from the property so you can carry out the service of selling or the act of selling from a very, very subjective perspective. So those are my 3 tips for sellers. Let's look at, or rather, let me just give a pointer to realtors who will be engaged by sellers to sell their properties. Number 1, preview, advise the client on the right price, and also don't just share photos. Please package these properties and do justice to your property and give value to your clients, but just not, selling without a plan. Have a strategy in place, all right? So those are my top realtor tips for selling, and also top tips for sellers who are in the market selling. Let me know if you have anything that you want to add. Please add them and let's engage more on this. Let's head out and see what this house. I have no idea. I haven't seen it, so it's just like the first time I'm seeing it with you guys. And here we are, gated, secure, private. I want to show you why this is not just a property. This is one of the ways you can build your legacy. One of the things I always yarn is look at the business beyond the property. So my first intuition when I get into this property is, how will the potential buyer make money by buying this? Remember, in our journey of investing, anything that you buy, it's not for you to own it forever. So this is ideally what you need to look out for when it comes to buying. Don't just get in love with the property. Look at the numbers and fall in love with the numbers. Come I show you what the property looks like, then we can look at the numbers and see if this could be a potential investment for you and your generation. I love the natural lighting. It's not dark, and this saves you a lot of energy in terms of electricity. You don't have to have all the lights up every single time. You have the dining space here, and more like a closed space and a closed kitchen. Quite interesting space to say, because that's a breakfast nook right there. And this is your kitchen. I would most definitely change a couple of things here, but then also I need you to understand that cost does not equate to value. What you can work with can always remain. Remember, at times we put a lot of cost implications into properties, and they tamper with the value at the end when you're exiting. I would say be cautious enough on how much you need to invest in this property. But then in terms of the spacing, I would say this is amazing. This big over, I'm a mother, this is good enough. So big. You have this breakfast nook over here, and you have a huge pantry. You know, you have a huge pantry over here, and you have the outdoor wet area where you can do your cleaning and all that. And yeah, it's an amazing space, so to speak. Let's look around, guys. Let me just highlight one of the things that you'll get with this holder. Not so modern homes in Lavington or even everywhere. They are so spacious, and you can actually modernize them to get to your feel. Come and have a look at this humongous bedroom. I don't think in the current market now you could get such a space for a bedroom. This is quite big, and I love the fact that the height ceiling is equally good and acceptable. Yeah, I want us to start thinking about the numbers so we can talk about that. Then we have the bathroom, and we have the guests' bedroom there. That's actually what the lower level has in store for us. I'm quite excited. One of the things I love about this, it's just the workmanship is good. It might be feel like you need a bit of modern, but I'll tell you, timeless is class. And that's what I'm getting, the vibe I'm getting in this house. It's so timeless in the sense that I don't feel like this is an outdated house. It actually has a very timeless kind of a vibe. Wow. So you have this cabinetry that could be more like a storage space for your books, for your wines and stuff. You could actually even remodel it to have like your bar section. And then we have another bedroom over here, bedroom number 2. I think it's just similar to, yes, good. Here you go. Wow. Let's see. You have a balcony, bedroom number 3, bedroom number 4. And one of the amazing things about these bedrooms, they're all en suite, right? When I say en suite, each bedroom has its own bathroom and its own toilet. So that's actually something amazing. But let's see, I'm keen to see how the master looks like. Okay. So we have a master. And the reason why I'm just taking it in, it's the double volume that technically this is what I want for my bedroom. Wow. And you have a walk-in closet. It's a bit dark. Oh yeah, there's light in there. So there's a his and hers, and there's this. Wow. Then we have the master bathroom. Okay guys, let me just tell you, I'm a really fan of big bathrooms, and this is something that is speaking to my heart. Let me ask, what have you seen that ticks your requirement? A big kitchen, a big master bedroom, the additional space in the living room where you can do a wine cellar, or the big bathroom that we've just seen, and the double volume in the master bedroom. These are things that will be relative must ask for some people, some nah, some tick. So now let's look at it from a buyer's perspective. The owner is asking for 85 million. What I would ask myself is 85 million really a good price for this house? Okay. And for asking that question, I would want to know, if I bought it as an investment, how much rent would I be looking at paying in this location? Wow. Okay. I was actually looking at the numbers here because we sell properties from a numbers perspective. It's not about the flashiness of the house. It's not about what the house actually takes. As much as that is our requirement, I'm always in tune to look at how much value is a client going to create if they invest their money in such a development. So quick question, you would need to ask yourself, what is the general return in the residential market? Because this is a residential property. Now from the numbers, this house, from what the client is asking for and how much rent you can fetch here, I've worked it out. It's around 5.4%, which is within what the residential market is offering in this market. But here's the other thing, you will need to understand what is the value appreciation of the land. That's a key factor when you're buying such a house. And also, how is the density? These are only 4 units in this development, meaning if you ever want to redo your house, you could. Then also making decisions is easier because you are just 4 of you in a compound. So that's one of the things. If you're out there and you're looking out to understand if you're going to make value into this, I'm here. Reach out to me and I'll definitely walk you through. I will negotiate a good deal for you, and also I will walk with you throughout the journey of buying. My good name is Lucy Thuo. I hope you've enjoyed my journey to viewing this new listing, as I look forward to heading out to the office to package it and ideally hit the market to look for a potential buyer for my client. I will see you in the next one.